Hello there, my darling dragon friends. Welcome to my channel. My name is Ariel. I am the Sassy Dragon, and today we are going to be smelling and talking about the newer, it was released last year, but this is the new flanker, or maybe the second flanker, I should say. We do have an even newer one. There is a third one to this family of fragrances, but this is the second one in the lineup, Prada Paradoxe Intense by Prada. It is an eau de parfum. It is very, very intense. I'm going to tell you right off. I have been trying this one out over the last week. This was released last year, 2023. It is the second release in the Paradoxe family here. The same three people have worked on this fragrance as did on the original Prada Paradoxe. We have Antoine and Shimala Messandu and Nadege Le Garlantazek. I hope that I'm saying her name right. It's a really fascinating name. So top notes on this one are pear, neroli, and bergamot. So we drop the tangerine from the top notes of the original. The middle notes bring in moss, jasmine, and more of the neroli, but this time a neroli essence, which I'm guessing is just an even stronger or different version of the neroli. We have it appearing twice in this perfume. In the base notes, we're doubling up on our vanilla with a regular vanilla, also a bourbon vanilla, amber, and ambro fix, which is a interesting, it's a synthetic perfume compound that I read gives us, it's a little bit amber, but it's also a little bit leather, a little bit woodsy, musky, piney. It's just sort of its own little thing. It's not in very many perfumes at this point, so it's more of a new kind of thing that perfumers are playing around with. So we're going to go ahead and smell this sucker, and I'm going to tell you right off, guys, this is one of the most long-lasting perfumes I think I've ever smelled in my life. And that's saying something, because I lived through the perfumes of the 90s, which were all kind of like beast mode, but this is like up there with that. Maybe even a little bit more. The longevity on this one is outlandish. And I have the kind of chemistry that eats up a lot of perfumes. Like, not everything lasts very long on me. There's only a few here and there that are really like super, super long lasting. But this one spray behind my neck, and this thing is lasting. I can smell it the whole next day. It is insane how long lasting this is. Oh my goodness. So the jasmine really, really comes out on this one like it did not on the original Paradoxe. Wow. That jasmine in the middle is like ba-boom boom. It's almost, I wouldn't say it's the same super luscious photorealistic jasmine that was in like the original Mugler Alien. But it's similar, and it's especially similar jasmine to the newer Alien. It really has that. The difference is that you're not getting so much of the woods and that more like honeyed green tea quality around the jasmine. It's just very, very charge ahead. Definitely you've got the fruits in the top. You definitely get the pear and the bergamot. It has this really interesting, almost, it's almost juicy, but not too sweet. It's sweet, but it's got enough tartness to blend it. It's almost, to the nose, it's almost kind of like, it's like the only word I can think of is grainy, but that's not quite it. It's like you almost feel like it's like the juicy seeds of like a pomegranate, that kind of quality where it's not real smooth. It has almost like a texture to it, the way that it hits your nose. I'm not really sure where the moss is coming in the middle note. You know, to me, it's like I don't even know exactly what to look for with a moss note other than sort of a green, slightly damp or woodsy scent. It doesn't really have that to me, so I'm not exactly sure, you know, what that component is. I feel more that I'm getting the amber. The vanillas are definitely there. This is one I will say, I really like the scent of it. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this big bottle or sell it or or give it to someone, because it is just such a monster that if you're not in the mood for this fragrance, it's going to drive you up a wall. It can almost become cloying or headache inducing. Not that I've really had the headache inducing part of it, but for the, you know who you are. If you're someone that is very sensitive to fragrance, strong fragrances really get to you if you're wearing them, I would definitely not get this one, because it is so strong. It is so in your face, and it is so long lasting, y'all. Because I think most people it's going to last a really long time on, unless you just have the kind of chemistry that eats it up. It's one of those, yet again, it does have a slightly grapey quality coming through now. The first Paradoxe did as well have a little bit of that. It almost conjures up like that real kind of grapey, bubblegummy tuberose, but it doesn't have tuberose in there. However, that combination of white florals just really creates that kind of fragrance, especially when mixed with the fruits and the vanillas. There is a freshness to it that almost reminds me of laundry detergent. The quality of the jasmine is a little bit that way as it dries down. And so for that reason, like, this is sort of like, wow. What I will say about this one, because I like daring fragrances that take a little bit more of a risk. I do feel like this one was more of a risky perfume to create, even more so than the original Prada Paradoxe. The original Prada Paradoxe, I just did a review on it, is much more like, it's girly, it's fun, it's almost like, it almost reminds me of a Juicy Couture fragrance. It has that girliness. This one, it's not quite as easy to wear. It's not quite as light and fun and universally appealing. This one, to me, it's very specific. Some people are going to absolutely love it, and some people are really going to hate it, because it is just unapologetically out there. It's loud, it's proud, it is doing its thing. And if you like that thing, you're going to be really happy with it, because this one lasts. I will give it to Prada on this one. If they wanted to make an intense perfume, they did it. Because this one makes no apologies for itself. So I feel like it's definitely not a safe blind buy. I would smell this before you try it, or make sure there's a good return policy on it if you do buy a full bottle, just to give it a shot before you get it. But it is definitely, it's one of those that I really like it, but I have worn this a few days since I got it, and there were definitely moments where, and I didn't even spray much of it, and I was like, this is too much. And it's rare for me to say something is too much, because I love bold, unusual, fragrances. I'm a huge fan of like the vintage Mugler fragrances, which were all very, very strong and bold. But this one almost reached points where I was like, oh, if I could just turn it down a minute, right? If you could turn down the lights a little, just hit a dimmer switch on this perfume, because it's very, very strong. If you're looking for a strong fragrance that is going to last all day, if you love fruity florals that have a bit of freshness to them and a good hefty dose of vanilla and amber, you'll probably really enjoy this. But like I said, it might become a bit cloying, might become a little too intense for even those who love an intense perfume, because I haven't smelled one quite this strong in a minute, and they've been coming out with some pretty good strong ones. The Burberry Goddess Intense was nice and bold. The new Devotion from Dolce & Gabbana was definitely like boom. So I feel like maybe lately these perfumer houses are not playing when they claim something's intense. Like, they really mean it. Lately, what I've been smelling, it's like, okay, you're not playing. I did smell the new Prada Virtual Flower. I did not like it at all, because it smelled literally like it. The first burst of it, when I first sprayed it in the store to test it, I actually really enjoyed the initial fragrance of it. It kind of was like, oh, this is just kind of a nice, bright, light, clean, jasmine-y forward fragrance. But then once it dried down just a little bit, it smelled way too much like a synthetic jasmine dryer sheet or laundry detergent, and it just smelled too synthetic, too one-dimensional for me. So those are my thoughts on Virtual Flower. I personally wouldn't even mess with it unless you just really want to smell like a dryer sheet, like a really high quality Jasmine dryer sheet. Like, it's not a bad laundry detergent. It's a high-end laundry detergent, but still it has that sort of very strongly synthetic quality. And I'm not totally against synthetics and perfumes, not at all, but that one just really left me kind of flat. So that's my thoughts on that one. I'm probably not going to do a separate review on it because it just, it's not that deep. But this one is deep. It's definitely got some things going on in it. I'm not sure. I'm on the fence with this one. I love the boldness and intensity of it, but it's almost suffocating because it's so strong. It's so overwhelming. Even with just one spray, I almost got like, ugh, you know, just that like, whoa, can I have a break from this for just a minute? However, I think if you are wearing it and someone just gets like a hit of your perfume, they're gonna say, wow, that smells so good. You know, it's one of those. You had to play with that. That's the paradox. That's the paradox. You know, is that you're gonna have to like decide, can I put up with how strong this thing is? Because you will get compliments on it, I guarantee, because it's one that you just cannot ignore. Somebody's gonna tell you smell really good with it. Because if you don't have to be wearing it all day long and you just smell it for a little while, it's like, it has this just juicy, you know, it has a nice quality. I really do like this one. I like the Intense one actually better than the original. I think it's a little bit more unique than the original one. The original one totally conjures up a whole Viva la Juicy Mall day for me. But this one is a little different. The facets are a little different, and it's definitely strong and powerful. So go get that on. If you have smelled this, if you've tried it, let me know what you think. Let me tell me if it lasted as long on you, and if you had the same experience that I did. If you have perfumes you would like me to try in the future, please do let me know in the comments. Can't promise I'll get to them fast, but I will get to them eventually. And I will look forward to seeing you all again. I always love to read what your comments are. And we're just having fun here, trying new stuff. So I will talk to y'all soon. Take care. Bye for now.